Greetings! What's up and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is shining and the magpie is casting. Coming to you guys right now with a live 1 versus 1 battle, fresh from the ladder, featuring spawning in the north. It is going to be the Overcommand West forces of PanzerGrenadierAngreifen, and boy do we know he can play them. And spawning in the south, it is going to be the United Kingdom forces of Fredbrik, who's also a very potent player with this faction. So these two players should be very well met. Now, don't worry, I know I said the sun is shining, and I also said that this morning. I have been out in the meantime. Magpie 842 has been exposing himself to direct sunlight, synthesizing vitamin D, buffing his health, which is why you can, you can probably hear that he doesn't sound quite as ill as he did this morning, so that's really cool. Now, right now, there is what I can only describe as some kind of bonanza going on the live games lobby, right? Love Nest, Barton, Paul AD, Jove, Nagano, Talisman, I feel like I've missed some of them, but basically they're all playing right now, okay? And I've literally tried to cast about like 6 games in the last hour, but they've all been one-sided stompathons because all these excellent players, oh, Love Nest, did I mention that? Are not being matched against each other. They're just getting matched against regular mortal human beings, like just people who play the game, and it's just massacres. Like, none of the games have gone on longer than 15 minutes. Somebody managed to take Love Nest to 20 minutes, and I think I'm actually going to upload that game. But yeah, I even just cast like Paul against it was Paul against I don't know. You know what? I can't remember, but the game ended like in 10 minutes. Even then, it was Paul against like one of the other big names, and he just got like totally uppercutted by like Axis shenanigans. Basically, he was playing USF, and anyway, it got ugly. It got ugly fast. So I thought I'd pop in here with PanzerGrenadierAngreifen and Fredbrik. Now, I think it's definitely safe to say these players not on the same caliber as that list of names that I just mentioned. Not necessarily because of their in-game skill. I think that they could challenge those players. I think that they would even win maybe 1 in 5, maybe 1 in 3 games against those players. But they haven't got the same record, they haven't got the same command of respect, they haven't got the same publicity, their names don't have that gravitas, and they haven't won as many ESL tournaments or anything like that. So these guys definitely up-and-comers and definitely incredibly skilled, but also definitely just one rung down the ladder from the absolute top glory names in the game. But you know, and this is a really weird thing to say, in RTS games generally, at the very top end of the games tend to be less enjoyable to watch because both players have everything so figured out. They kind of know if they've lost or won, and they know what to do in almost every circumstance. So the games are very rarely close, they're very rarely tense, and they're very rarely unknown for either of the players. So there's very rarely any ad-libbing or any kind of, intuition or any initiative being taken. It's just two guys grinding it out as best as they can. When you just take it down just one rung and just go to the not quite the top but nearly the bloody top level of the games tend to be awesome because the players will make just a couple of mistakes, or they'll just be slightly less familiar with a couple of circumstances that crop up, and interesting, awesome, cool stuff happens. Now, I'm not saying that I prefer watching games from players who are just like one rung down, even though they are more reliably exciting, because when players at the top tier of the game do have an exciting game, it's like Holy Spoon, set my pants on fire and run through the streets exciting, you know, and it is awesome, and those are the very best games that any game can offer you, be it StarCraft, be it, you know, even non-RTS games. So anyway, I'm just kind of elucidating randomly about, you know, something which about kind of related to this game, but not really. So I hope that was interesting, and I'll now shut up about it and start talking about the other stuff, like what's going on in this game. Let's take a look up at the lineup here. PanzerGrenadierAngreifen. There's this mixed skirmishing going on all around the center of this map, which you kind of expect from Road to Kharkov, which, by the way, don't know if I said before, that's the map. So yeah, PanzerGrenadierAngreifen here, he's up to 3 squads of Volts, squad of Storm Pioneers, and a Kubelwagen, pretty much de rigueur. That's the very standard starting package here for Overcommand. Looks like he's going to add in a Rakettenwerfer, and that almost certainly in response to this Bren carrier, which has been on the field now for some time. For Fredbrik, it's 3 squads of Tommies, 2 medkits among them. He's just now going for Royal Engineers, and of course, he has this Bren carrier, which has actually kind of been running amok a little bit, but hasn't really done very much damage. It doesn't tend to, let's be honest, the DPS on this thing, not very good. So, yeah, a pretty interesting opener so far. Storm Pioneers here going to push back these Tommies, and he'll be lucky not to force a fallback here. I mean, the Bren's going to come in and try and get some damage on these guys as they cross the open, but the Kubelwagen's here just pinging away at the Bren, and so he has to respect the Kubel here a little bit. Anyway, let's take a look at the commander lineups here. Let's go for Fredbrik first, because the British commanders tend to slightly more dictate how the game looks than the Overcommand ones. So he's got the Mobile Assault Regiment, you know, Land Mattress, ever potent. Infiltration Commandos, pretty good. Flamers on Engineers, pretty good. Vehicle Crew Repairs, pretty good. Advanced Cover Combat, pretty good. So, yeah, it's a good commander. He's got the Royal Engineer Regiment, and he's got the Tactical Support Regiment. So these are all very good. Tac Support's kind of fallen out of favour since it was, like, nerfed to not be stupidly broken with its artillery cover ability. Grenadier Angreifen's going to be bringing that this Fortifications Doctrine now. You know, I was skeptical when I saw that on his lineup last time, but ever since that epic battle where he had like 2 Pack 43s holding off like 3 Churchills and a Firefly, you know, I'm just happy to see this guy on the roster. Like, and if anyone can use him, it's PanzerGrenadier Angreifen. He has proven as much. He's got the Panzer Elite Doctrine, and he's got the Scavenge Doctrine, so actually he hasn't mixed it up. This is definitely his favoured 3 since last I saw him play. Yeah, you know, the Panzer Elite Doctrine, a pretty good one. If you find yourself in the late game with a spare, you know, 160 or 180 odd fuel, I can't remember how much the Storm Tiger is actually, I think it's 160, always used to be, then, you know, you can just call in that Storm Tiger and make a big crater in your opponent's army, always useful. On top of that, he gets the high explosive shells, and, you know, the radio intercepts can be useful, or sorry, the signal boost, I believe it's called, can be useful. And the Scavenge Doctrine, just a really good all-rounder, and you've got to have one good all-rounder in your list, I suppose. So, yeah, no commander choices so far. Vickers Gun has been donated, though, by Fredbrik to PanzerGrenadier Angreifen, as is custom. Touch awkward, though, because the Vickers is a fantastic gun, and of course Overcommand don't normally have access to an LMG. This is a good map for an LMG, too. Buildings in good places here and there. And LMGs are very good against British forces, so that is a real shame for Fredbrik. Kubelwagen here, up to 1-star vet, going to be marshalling these Royal Engineers away. There is an SAS Sniper, Scottish Assault Squad, coming onto the field just now. Aye! Which wee bollock do you want shot off first? First. Sorry, I just love, that's like my favourite dialogue line from that unit. I don't know why. Probably because it's funny. Yeah, so the Bren here is going to push back the Kubelwagen up at the north here. This victory point slightly awkward. Angreifen probably wants to be capping that rather than having units idle just stood nearby. He'll probably notice that very shortly, and there we go. You can see the Volks moving on the minimap now, so they've been tasked onto it. Rakettenwerfer reveals itself, taking a pot shot at the Bren. Unluckily enough, it actually misses, so no damage coming down onto that one. SAS Sniper angling for a shot, probably looking for this Strudelwagen, but he's got to be careful because there's a Vickers gun, so he's actually going to take shots at that. But now the Kubelwagen knows that the Vickers is there. Remember, Kubels do bonus damage to snipers, so if Angreifen rallies the Strudelwagen across, and he does, this sniper is in jeopardy now. But look at the massive damage he takes, and he's in negative cover, so that sniper has to GTFO. A wall of Tommies should be all that's needed to repulse this Kubelwagen, but hey, look, the Vickers is going to move up. So this is getting a little spicy here. This Bren carrier is going to transfer down to the south. It's not exactly in need of repairs. Panzer Shrek Volks is an ask too far. The reverse comes down in good time. The Shrek is reloaded though. No long-range shot comes down. That was a lucky escape for that Bren carrier, which earns itself a star of veterancy. Now, Wall of Tommies here is going to be pretty good, but not at this range, not against the Volks. He just steals the building, though. That's going to be crucial. Remember, at this range, cover will not apply, so the Tommies are just getting hewn down by these Volks here. The rate of fire bonus is good, but it's not good when you're outnumbered like 2 rifles to 4. So anyway, yeah, they're going to have to fall back. Whoa, damage coming down. The Volks are still focusing this guy. He's actually going to escape. Okay, that would have been a big loss if he'd have lost that Tommy squad. Third squad of Tommies is going to come here, though, and start trying to help. These Volks now have to GTFO. Yep, and they will. And that is the explosion here caused by a Lieg gun. So here it is, the Lieg gun over here firing. So a nice choice here for Angreifen. Bang! Now, why is that suppressing? Oh, that'll be the Vickers gun, right? Sorry, my bad. For some reason, that almost looked like those old suppressing Liegs that we had for a while. Jesus, those things were stupid. I'm so glad they were taken out of the game. Anyway, Kubelwagen here going to be using infantry detection, so Angreifen knows all about the deployment choices and the strategic positioning of Fredbrik, so that is an issue. Fredbrik is actually going to go ahead and lock in this tactical support regiment. He's actually using designate command vehicle right now, which means that this is now a command carrier. It is quite weak, though. I wish he'd repair that. It can repair itself, even, which, you know, he could do if he feels like sparing the 15 munitions, which he can afford. So I do worry that that command has been used. How much does it cost? 75 munitions. It's not so bad. Kubelwagen mows down the sniper. I got the camera here just in time to see his ragdollified form slumping to the side of the road there. Brutal times for Fredbrik, and I feel like this game is rapidly rapidly spiraling out of control. He has just 5 units, one of which never really wants to fight, against 3 Shrek Volks, a Vickers, a Storm Pioneer, an ISG, a Rakettenwerfer, and a 2-star Strudelwagen. So, like, wow, desperate times indeed. Fredbrik also finds himself at 377, under 465, under a triple cap, but he is doing what he can to get over that. Tommy's capping in mid, Tommy's capping in the east as well.
Teams are ready to salvage vehicles. Airdropped weapons and medical supplies are ready for dispatch.
And this is far from over. Like, this is genuinely far from over. And what I've seen British players doing a lot recently. Okay, so he's got the 5-man squad upgrade. That's really nice. If he gets the weapon racks next, he can start loading up his engineers with Piats or Brens. And of course, Brens on the Tommies is always sexy. So, yeah, there's options to be had here. You know, Fredbrik, British players, like, it's so easy to fall behind with them because they're so pushed on manpower. It really doesn't take much to mean that you might have a much smaller and just often inferior army to your opponent. So British players, I find, are usually just really well used to, like, being well behind in every available metric, but then trying to come back in the late game, which, I mean, you know, Brits clearly have quite a strong late game, so that's, you know, as you might expect. So I'm hoping Fredbrik here is just going to, you know, he's building a 6-pounder, he's continuing to marshal his forces. If he can build up some stars of veterancy over these Tommies, and this is not how you do it, not taking on this many Volks with just 2 Tommies. What the hell? He's using advanced cover. No, he's not. What is he? These Tommies just need to get out. At this range, his cover bonus is not... Oh, he's research grenades, that's why. Oh, wow. Wow. The Mills Bomb takes down, like, 4 Volks. That was totes worth it. Oh, and another Mills Bomb. He's getting the double element of surprise here. That's so nice. Alright, I take it back. Fredbrik did know what he was doing with the random 2 Tommies hung out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, that was really nice. So he used, you know, those first grenades that you get when you play as USF or Brits and you research the grenade package, those first grenades you get are always going to surprise your opponent a little bit because it's like, oh, he has research grenades, like, you know. And using them twice there, almost simultaneously, that was really nice. That was well orchestrated and coordinated from Fredbrik. That was nice to see. Vickers, though, going to get set up, push these Tommies away. The Volkswagen, the Kugelwagen, the Strudelwagen in the hood here, so that's also going to help push them away. But Fredbrik turns his attention to the south. He's grabbing fuel. He's grabbing another point, munitions point here, so that's going to help. Also going to be laying down some mines here, which I like. He has munitions going spare. Stormtroopers, Storm Pioneers, sorry. Going to try and attack over the open here. Tommies do get a barrage, but they are disrupted by the Leig and the Rakettenwerfer firing on them. But they're actually going to try and take that fight. Oh, I don't think they can, though, with the Leig hitting them. Mills Bomb comes down, forces a fallback, and the Tommies, too, will probably want a GTFO there. I would have... I don't know, actually. He can fall them back and use medkits if he's okay with having a 3-man squad. And now he's got the 2 stars of veterancy over all these Tommies, and the second star does give them the squad survivability, so that's almost the most important one, really. Because once you get to 2-star, you're much more likely to get to the 3-star. What does 1-star give them? It's the improved sight range and cover. Yeah, that's right. And then 3-star is the scope of the Enfields. Extra scope fire. Yeah. So is this Obersoldaten coming onto the field? Ugh, savage. Oh god, it's going to be one of those games. Infinite free recon. Hashtag Brits balanced. No, just kidding. So the Bren carrier, of course, can call in infinite recon, and that's what we're going to see happening here. Whoa, this Vickers gun here. The Royal Engineers just kind of strolling past it there for a second. Whoa, here come a load of Tommies, and I can confirm weapon racks are finished. You know why? Because those Bren guns are hooning on these Tommies. They're going to start taking out this MG who is forced to run. This is just too many British people angry, and they are going to be retreating post-haste of these Grenadiers. LMG 34 Grenadiers though, sorry, Obersoldaten gets set up in a lovely position behind the wall here. That is issues. They will make mincemeat of Tommies. Now the Tommies are in cover though, and they do have Bren guns. But it's still, Obersoldaten are brutally efficient, like utterly terrible. And they love shooting at Tommies, because Tommies are worth a lot per model, so they will get a lot of veterancy with the Obersoldaten. And Obersoldaten are all about the veterancy. Once they get to 2 stars, they're very, very good in a fight, because they kill things really fast. Once they get to 4 stars, like, one squad of Obersoldaten can take on 3, 4 other squads sometimes, because they can just suppress the hell out of them so quickly. So Obers really do multiply up with veterancy, and they get that veterancy a lot faster against British forces, so... Mills Bomb comes down here. Oh, Angreifen not paying attention, and the Volks get massacred. Oh, there could well be a squad wipe here. The Lee Enfield's reloading, and the squad goes down. The Panzer Shrek is dropped. Ah! Good job. I feel like these Tommies should really grab that. Yep, there we go. Wow, I was worried for a second he was just going to leave that fantastic piece of weaponry lying around. You never want that. Now these Tommies, 3 stars with a Bren and a Panzer Shrek. They are the god Tommies. Wow, they must be from Bristol or something. Oh, that's where I'm from, by the way. So, yeah, they're going to fall back, though, because the Strudelwagen and these Volksgrenadiers have them in a bit of a spit roast. More Volksgren's going to be taking on Tommy's here. Another Mills bomb comes down. These Mills bombs are being really good. How much are they? Like 30? 25 munitions, actually. Not nearly as much as I thought. I don't know who Mills was, but he developed a very cheap bomb there. 6-pounder hit. Oh, finds the Kubelwagen for a cheeky hit there. Going to force the little car away there. And a Panther. Oh, my God. I was not keeping my eye on the Axis teching at all. He does have his Schwerpanzer HQ. That's why you can hear it hooting down the infinite scout planes that the British player is just like free, literally free to call in. Yeah, Panther tank is going to be the choice here. And that Panther, I'm not going to lie to you, that is going to be like freaking issues here for Fredbrik. I wonder if I should explain my swearing policy right now. No, I'll do it later. Sometimes I just prefer the word freaking. It's not that I don't like saying fucking. I mean, I'll happily say that on my casts. It's my YouTube channel. I'll do what I like. Whatever, I'll do what I want. But sometimes I just like the way that word sounds. Freaking. It's just a good word. So, anyway, let's see. Wow, taking the west is here is Fredbrik. Squads of Tommies in good positions, getting into this building even. Incendiary does come down, going to force the reposition. Up to 4 squads of Tommies now. Is Fredbrik ever favouring Tommies? In fact, you know what's weird this game is that Fredbrik has not, like, abused the hell out of the AEC as he almost always does. Maybe that's in response to the changes. Maybe he doesn't like it now. Anyway, Panther's going to reveal itself. Sexy camo on that tank. The very same as used by your humble caster Magpie. So, yep, the Panther is going to reveal itself. Squabble also going on over here is the Obersoldat. I'm going to be getting stuck into these Royal Engineers. The Engineers at close range could actually maybe take this fight. And they do close into that close range here. Yeah, they're going to take it against the Obersoldat. Oh my goodness, my throat. Hang on. I'm going to have to take a sip on my drink here. Dearie me. Yeah, this Panther, I mean, there's just no real answer. I mean, there is a 6-pounder, and that will definitely help. The 6-pounder's even in the right place, actually. Not quite facing the right way. Oh, wow, the 6-pounder could get overrun here, though. The Panther looking for it. Gets a nice hit there with the main gun. Okay, now the Panther has to run, though, because I don't like just sitting here for 6-pounder rounds. You don't want to do that. But let's take a look at the teching here for the British player. Okay, so company command post is done. That's the crucial upgrade I was looking for. So he is going to have the option. He's actually only like 30 fuel off of getting a Firefly. I believe they're 165. No, they're 155, so a minute away from getting a Firefly if he doesn't spend any of his manpower.
We're losing a capture point.
So expect to see that Firefly coming soon. I would have thought, I mean, he could try for Comet, but that's a long way away. He could try for Cromwell, but it doesn't really face off against a Panther very well. And it's not going to be a Centaur because no one uses them anymore. And a Centaur has nothing to offer against a Panther. So that's, you know, that's that. If I crack the tack here, though, you can actually see there's a bit of a dire situation as Angreifen clearly with the upper hand, clearly pushing hard. He has all of the victory points. 166 tickets remain right now for Fredbrik, so he's going to have to try very hard if this is not to be a defeat. By the way, I should point out as well, this is also a rematch. These two guys were playing against each other on the ladder just now, so like I feel like they have a reasonable window into each other's playstyle. But anyway, dearie me. Sorry. Fredbrik here, going to be pushing. Whoa, this building on terribly low health. He has to be very careful. There is a light gun on the field, which would love to take a shot into this building and demolish it. That light gun, by the way, now at nearly 2 stars, just as near as makes no difference, 2 stars of veterancy. So that's closing in. Obersoldat and also up to 1 star. So the veterancy beginning to stack up for the Axis player here. And, I mean, Fredbrik is just up against the ropes here. What can he do? Oh, the light is going to find this building. Ah, this building's so low. I feel like Fredbrik... Okay, he does realise he gets the Tommies out. Nicely done there. He needs to maybe buy the medkits or get them healed on another unit that has medkits. Because this Tommy squad is down at like 2/3 health, but still has 5 men. So they must be walking wounded almost literally here. The Panther here has taken a hit from the 6-pounder. I believe it was the 6-pounder. 2 stars now over that lag. But I mean, this is Angreifen's game to lose, really. Oh, and he's grabbed the cut-off there. This is like all that was needed. Firefly is going to be the choice for Fredbrik, as I suspected, and that is going to give him a way of pushing back against this this damn Panther. 6-pounder manages to find it. There we go. So Fredbrik going to have to respect that and just kind of move that on back. But the The Axis Vickers gun has just kind of been awful for Fredbrik this whole game, and now it finds itself a nice arc over here, controlling a great big slice of relevant map. Now this 6-pounder can basically not be defended, so it has to get out of there. Takes a brutal hit from the light gun. That light is firing super fast. Is there just one? Yeah, wow, it's firing pretty quick. Now these Volksgrenadiers are overextending. This is a wall of Tommies. You want nothing to do with that. Yeah, Tommies in heavy cover at 3 stars there are really no laughing matter. The Firefly is here, and I would love to see the Tank Commander upgrade. Yes, Fredbrik! Yes, he knows that you should get the Tank Commander first, not tulips when you don't have enough munitions to fire them, like some players who've been on my channel recently. Well, I'm not really mad. I'm just having a light-hearted dig, you know. Panzerschreck on these Tommies being really useful, though. Actually, you know, taking some health off of this Panther. Oh, the 6-pounder just bouncing though. That's totes unluck. And the Firefly kind of cruising up through here at the moment. Now that is getting the buff from the command vehicle. That's actually going to improve its rate of fire. So that's actually really relevant, actually. A Firefly with rate of fire buff is, you know, rate of fire is the Firefly's most limiting variable. Whoa, this Firefly coming way far forwards there. He's got to be so careful. He's got to be so careful. Where's the Rakettenwerfer right now? Okay, not going to take a shot, but only just. And he's just going to park the Firefly with its arse facing the Germans. What? Fredbrik! Not like this! Ah! Okay, he turns it. Thank God. If that Panther had just ravaged in and killed the Firefly, that would have been game. Like, that would have been horrible. Tommy's here trying to make a move. And there we go. The Firefly actually finds the Panther. It is not in range for the reload speed buff. So, actually, I feel like if this Bran Carrier would just tuck up against this hedge here, it might be. But the Rakettenwerfer and the Panther are going to put pay to this Firefly for the time being. That Firefly going to have to scoot back a little. And try and find some way to get repaired here. Infinite British scouting. Now, Fredbrik, to his credit, has taken the middle VP, he's taken the east VP, which is really nice. So he's not bleeding to death. I mean, nobody wants to bleed to death, right? So, and look at the infantry of look at the veterancy, sorry, of this infantry. Very good. Wow, he's out of manpower though. There is a queue of squads waiting to be reinforced, which isn't cheap with Brits. So, bit of a queue up here for squads being reinforced. The manpower is. Did he just cancel something because it just went up by like 200? He's making me look like a real fool right now.
We're losing a capture point.
And more Obersoldaten. Wow, the Obersoldaten went down somewhere. I didn't catch that. Sorry about that. I feel like this cast has been a bit hectic. There's just been constant action. A British Vickers gun now facing off against the German Vickers gun. The Firefly lurking, the 6-pounder ready to rock. So Fredbrik very much ready to try and take this Panther. Angreifen does... No, he does have the whole tech tree, actually. So a Tiger tank, the King Tiger, could be looming over this battlefield shortly. This Firefly, Fredbrik's movement with the Firefly is so hectic, though. Now he's just going to leave it here, unsupported. Look, let me show you what Fredbrik can see. Fredbrik can see nothing. There could be a Rakettenwerfer here, there could be 2 Volks with Shreks, there could be a Panther here, which we know that there actually is a Panther here. And he just had the Firefly with its rear armor facing that way. Like, that's how you lose Fireflies without being able to do anything about it. That's just dangerous. You know, like, I'm not making this up. Whenever I lose a Firefly, it's because I've been stupid with it like that. If you play the Firefly sensibly, it's got so much range, and it has enough health to take a hit or 2, you know. Like, it's actually a very difficult unit for the Axis to deal with if you use it well. Anyway, Angreifen has taken back all of the VPs, pushing hard in the north, and Obersoldaten going to be rushing in with the LMG-34. Possibility of a squad wipe even going here as the Volk's pushing. This guy here gets one more shot. Oh, he misses. It was all on him to get that squad wipe. He's not going to get it, though. And I don't know, I think Fredbrik, you know, he put up a good fight, but it just wasn't good enough. Angreifen was able to hold the middle line of this map for way too long. And Fredbrik is down at like 57 tickets. Now, I've seen British players come back from worse. I really have. Brits are like the comeback faction, so if anyone can make it happen, it might be Fredbrik now. It's just not looking good. He needs to be running these Tommies like right now. This is such an issue. Tommy's in mid, going to try here, but the Vickers gun remains. Obersoldaten are here on support. Maybe these Tommies can find a way through to the northern VP. I think trying at the middle one right now, owing to that Vickers, is just suicide. That Vickers is also 3 stars. The Panther is going to reveal itself on these Tommies, who do manage to decap one of the points. So that means the Firefly here can wheel in and take a shot. Oh, Fredbrik, your Firefly positioning is awful. Oh my god. Okay, he gets a hit, but the Firefly positioning there was really bad. Owing to the Rakettenwerfer, owing to the Panther, of course. Oversoul Dart going to be running on in. They pick up the 6-pounder, and it's just getting out of control here for Fredbrik. He's just hemorrhaging units. Angriefin's just pushing everywhere. This Vickers gun in mid is still terrifying. Tommy's here might actually be able to get a Mills bomb onto that, which would be really nice. Let's see. Yep, here comes the Mills. Whoop, but the you know what? The LMG is actually going to dodge that, so, or the HMG, I should say. I mean, I just don't know what Fredbrik can do here. He's going to be capping in the north. He's going to be losing the south. And the mid VP, he's going to grab mid. So actually, I don't think as things stand, I don't think he's dead. These Tommies can take this fight against the Volks here. Oh, unless they stand in an incendiary. That is a great incendiary. Oh, he's... Why? Why would you stand there? Ah, why would you run back through it? Oh my god, Fredbrik. So I think just get in cover here, Fredbrik, and use medkits. That's probably clever. That's what I do. Because, you know, I'm clever sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually really bad. Anyway. Firefly is nearly repaired. That's going to come back. Fredbrik is holding on to mid. He's actually got his Vickers established here, so that's really nice. Here comes some Storm Pioneers. Oh, but the ISG... You know, I feel like if Fredbrik had a mortar here, that would be like... I know he doesn't have the manpower, but that could have been just really nice. I don't know, I just feel like... Because he can't have an MG garrisoning this mid-victory point, because the Axis player has an indirect fire piece. The Axis player, however, can have a Vickers garrisoning this mid-point, because, you know, the British player does not have an indirect fire piece. Anyway, he's going to be getting a Cromwell, and that is actually going to be entering the field maybe with enough time to get something done. Volks are taking the... Oh no, the Tommies got burned. They had to fall back, so Volks are going to take north. Storm Pioneers are taking mid. There's very little to be done about this south VP. And I do realise this whole game I've been transitioning between calling this victory point here north and east, and that this one here is also south and west. But I have been consistent, at least, about calling the mid victory point mid, so, you know. I got something right. 1 in 3 though, not so good, is it? Let's see now. Tommy's here going to be doing what they can, but 3-star Vickers just they just don't take prisoners. You know, they just kill everything and suppress the shizzle out of everything. And yeah, Fredbrik has seen enough. He's going to call GG on this one. There's no way back, and he knows it. Angriefen puts together another very nice fight here, showing off his Overcommand West plays yet again. And, you know, I'd love to see Angriefen enter some of these ESLs or whatever. I mean, I know that there aren't going to be any more ESLs because the season is over, but if there's a new season or if there's a new tournament system coming in to replace ESL, and, you know, if there was something like that coming, I definitely wouldn't know about it or drop any hints. I would not. It's not a thing I would do. Then, you know, then I'd love to see him enter any upcoming tournaments, and because I think he could shine. You know, he's got skills as Angriefen. Fredbrik, likewise, you know, I think with a little more practice, Fredbrik could be really good. Fredbrik is just generally a really solid, intuitive player. I think he just needs a little bit more finesse with his vehicle micro. That is the one thing that seems to consistently to be an issue in his games. But, you know, two very strong players. Angriefen's going to take it on this occasion. I wonder who won their previous game, because, like I say, this was a rematch. And I don't know, I've been casting for like 2 hours solidly without even meaning to, just because of the amount of great players in the live games lobby right now. But I might take a break. It's like, I feel like I don't want to miss this opportunity, though, because like, how often do you see all those players? It's as though there's like a fatty tournament going down. You know what, if there is a fatty tournament going down, which I didn't know about, I'm going to feel really foolish. Anyways, for now, this will be Magpie842 signing out.